New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Prayers. I'm your host, Reverend Z, and as always, it's my pleasure to be here with you to engage in the sacred art of prayer. I trust everyone is having a great morning as we fully get into the life of summer and see friends and family and just beginning to get back into the joy of life. So I'm happy to be here and looking forward to the rest of the summer and increasing our prayers and increasing our communication with one another so that we are truly connected to the divine. So I want to say that today for me is somewhat of a somber day, in that the other day my dog made its transition and then I had a family member that passed away and it put me in a different state of mind in terms of what the whole idea of transition is. Right now, we're transitioning into summer, and we are beginning to look at life differently. And as I thought about that, I also had this idea as I lost my family pet and a family member. Of course, those are transitions of the individuals who went back to the creative force of the universe, but also there's a transition for those of us that are left behind to make a move to understand what our new direction is. How is that transition of a loved one, if you will, has affected us, or how has the transition from spring into full summer affected our thinking, affecting our way of looking at the world, affected our way of really trying to be at our best and to deal with the ups and downs of life. You know, the beauty of the seasons, or one of the beauty of the season, obviously there are tons of them, but for me, one of the beauties of understanding the season and the seasonal change is that idea that we as human beings have to be flexible with life, because by definition in nature, it is an evolving cyclic approach to life, or it is that's what life is, this cyclic approach that we use as checkpoints to say, okay, where are we now? Are we prepared for the new season? Are we ready for the next transition? And I have found no better way of doing that, of being in place, of holding down that transitional space as we move, than prayer. Prayer is the number one for me, and I would suggest for everyone, that number one place of how do we move forward in picking up the pieces. Because when we go through those transitional point, there's that point that's called the liminal point. And the liminal point is that space in between leaving what was and stepping into what is new, when you are kind of lost. You're not sure which way to go. You're not sure how to proceed. You're not sure, if you're even ready to make that transition. And so when that happens, the best thing that I found to do is go into prayer, to send some heartfelt energy, some deep thought words and expressions, and even questions to say, God, I'm at a point right now where I need your guidance. I need your understanding. Now, and of course, this is not in a begging way. It's in an earnest request way, so that we're clear about what it is that we're looking for. So, I think this whole idea of transitioning into the new season and into the changes of life. I mean, we're getting ready for some wholesale changes because in a month or so, people are going to start getting ready to go back to their offices. Offices probably on wholesale in September are going to open back up after Labor Day. Schools are going to go back in after Labor Day, from K through 12 back to colleges, and there are different there'll be new protocols on how we go into schools and offices, and that it was going to be a transitional point from what it was a year and a half ago. At that point, it'd almost be 2 years ago. And so let us lean heavily on prayer as we go through these transitional moments, as we go through these liminal moments of the transition where we kind of lost our rudder. We're not sure what's going on, because that's the way of life. And so I would say, as we just anchor in that moment of transition, we want to give a prayer to anyone that's in those moments and say, hold on, God is coming. And so with that, let's just take a deep breath and allow the understanding of the divine to just move through our bodies and quiet our souls so that we can tap into the wisdom of the universe. Because we know right here, right now, that the only thing that exists is God, and that God is present in us, as us, in all ways, at all places, allowing us to animate and to tap into the wisdom of the divine so that we can move forward in all types of situations. Because you see, it is in those moments of need that God is the closest. It is in those moments when we surrender wholeheartedly, and the transitional points often send us in that open, surrender, grateful, gratitude moment, so that we can say yes to life and surrender to God and allow the divine energy to move through our life and our affairs and to wake us to the presence and magnificence of who and what we are. And so as we know that now, and as we lean heavily on that and accept it as the very nature of who and what we are, we make a statement, we make a declaration that we are powerful and tapped in and tuned in and turned on to the divine mind of God for healing, for prosperity, for guidance, for understanding and leadership in our lives, in our affairs. And so that we know that we are capable and able to do all things with the help of God. And because God is at the very center of who and what we are, there's no need to search for God. There's no need to wonder if God is going to come and provide anything. We only need to go within and tap into and listen to that divine, still, small voice that guides us and leads us and upholds us and prepares us for whatever transitional moment we may be coming in, leaving out of, or headed towards. And so as we just hold that dear, and we understand the power of God and the understanding that we are powerful beings beyond our imagination, as we stand tall in the spirit, we just say yes to life. And so it is in that understanding that I give thanks. I give thanks for the opportunity to be able to say yes to life, to say, mountain, move, and it shall be moved. Because the power and spirit of God has sway over all things. And so we give thanks for that, and knowing that, and leaning on that, and trusting that it will happen. And so it is in that trust, it is in that thanksgiving that I release this word into the law, knowing that God is also good and able to do whatever is required to allow us to be emanations of the Most High God here on earth. And so I just release, let go, and know that it is so. And so it is. Amen, amen, and amen. And so I trust everyone has has a new perspective now as the day begins, or at least an idea to think about in terms of how we proceed through life in transition. How do we move forward knowing that the power and the trust and everything that God has is at our disposal? And so if there's anyone in the audience that is in need of prayer, please send your prayer request to prayer@ntmedia.org, and someone on the prayer team, in fact, everyone on the prayer team, will take that prayer and send some love, power, and energy toward the person, place, situation, or thing that needs a healing. And so we look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to engaging in these prayers, because when I pray for somebody else, I'm praying for myself as well. So prayers around the house. And we want to thank you for your continued support to the station and to the network. And so please continue to do so at www.ntmedia.org, and then click donate. And, we're going to keep doing what we're doing because we love what we do. And that's how that goes. And so I want to give a shout out to everyone that's here this morning. I want to give a shout out to Kathy. How are you? Trust all is well. And Ty, trust all is well with you. Same thing with you, Diego. I trust this morning is off and running. And we just look forward to continued success in our lives, our transitions, our upliftments, our low point. They say God is with you on the top of the mountain and also down in the valley. There's no place where God is not. So as we continue to spiral upward and onward and outward in terms of our behaviors and our ideas and our connection to the Spirit, we do so lovingly with a smile. And so at that, I want to say, have a wonderful day, everyone. I look forward to being back the next time. I'm not even sure when it is, but I'm just right now in that moment where prayer is guiding and a force for all things. So please continue to come back. Please continue to tell your friends and others to come in, listen later, whatever it is, because we're all in need of prayer for something. And so with that, I want to say peace and blessings. Have a great day. All is well. Amen.